one of the first things we need to do before we get started is to put some survey pegs. I've got this really cool black backpack, you might be able to see here. I bought this from Kmart. Believe it or not, it's about 30 bucks, and it's kind of like a real good canvas type bag. So I'm going to put all my survey pegs in there now. Okay, so the weapon of choice today is the Leica GS18. Here we go, here's the box, as you've seen many times before. We've got the Leica GS18. I've got a battery in there ready to go. I'm going to put the 4G antenna in because we'll be using Leica SmartNet, CoreNet. So we'll put that on now. Bit tricky to do. Sometimes I like just to grab a bit of the pole here, put it in, and then just twist the pole. Put the pole up to 2 meters, lock it in. So it's just like a car starting the first time on a cold morning. It's a good idea just to turn the GPS receiver on and just let it sit there and acclimatise and let it connect to as many satellites as possible. You can see here I'm right under the thick of the trees here, so it's going to take a little while for everything to start working well. To have the controller up right close to the pill bubble, and even though this is a tilt compensating GNSS, the Leica GS18, I still do occasionally use the pill bubble. Okay, I've got a couple of spare batteries here. I've just put them in a plastic bag just to sort of keep them out of the way of dust and various things. I'll just stick that in the top of my bag here. As you can see, there's all the stakes and the paint and the tape. So we're pretty much ready to go. Like I was saying before about the stakes here, you can see that the point of the stakes sit quite comfortably inside the bag without poking out, which is really great. So you can just zip it up and everything is neat. It's not too bad to wear. So let's go.
RTK initialization lost.
So the first thing we need to do is just start the RTK stream so that we can be connected to CoreNet. And it takes a little moment to connect.
RTK initialize.
And there we go, RTK initialize. So now we are connected to CoreNet and we're ready to start surveying.
RTK initialization lost. RTK initialize.
Turn the volume down. I'd like to just show you one of the reasons I've come here. Not only is it a boundary marking exercise, but it's also a boundary marking of a conservation agreement. This is a survey which basically separates the biodiversity to the residents here, and the idea is that the biodiversity is sort of protected in perpetuity. So you can see here, by marking this boundary line between the biodiversity and the house, I've got a stake there, conservation agreement boundary stake. It's near this pit and pipe here. And it's kind of like a rectangular shape. Look at this place. Look at the size of that gum tree.
Tilt compensation started. RTK initialized.
So there's the residence behind the trees there. And so to the left of me as I'm walking down will be the biodiversity area, and to the right of me will be the sort of managed land by the people that live here. Here's another conservation agreement peg, and then it basically runs over in that direction to 3 or 4 more other pegs, which I marked on a previous day. And so after completing that survey, I ran out of time, and so I'm here again to mark the rear boundaries. So we're going to go for a walk now. So it's December, and you can see here it's quite overcast today, thank goodness. And I'm in a forest here of turpentine. So it's not only, thankfully, very cool and comfortable, because that was half the problem the last couple of weeks. It's just been so hot, and I think later on this week it's going to be really hot again too. But it's so much easier to be walking around here without the boiling heat. Now here's some interesting things I've found along the way. Strange line of rocks here. Quite possibly that they're being made by humans. That's sort of a naturally occurring thing. Now here's something really, really interesting that the client showed me, and I'd love to hear your feedback as to whether you think, or what your opinion of this is. But check this tree out. It's a whopper. And check out this scar. Is this an Aboriginal scar tree? This is definitely not a survey reference tree, even though that component there looks like a bit of a blaze. But there's definitely no survey reference marks here. There's a watercourse down the bottom there, which I'll show you soon. But check this out. Is this an Aboriginal scar tree? What do you think? If you know anything about them, please leave some comments. I'd love to hear what you think. How cool's that? How awesome is this? Okay, I thought I'd take a bit of an intermission in my video here today to kind of give you an update of what's been happening in my life. As you probably know, I haven't had a chance to make any videos for a couple of months. You probably also noticed that I've been rocking a wild beard occasionally. I've had a long beard, short beard. One afternoon I noticed a freckle on the back of my neck, and I hadn't seen that in a while, and my wife said to me, you know, I think we should book you in for a skin check. Well, I went in for a skin check, and the the skin doctor said that they think it's melanoma. And so my heart's racing and I'm thinking it's the end of the world for me. And she was pretty certain that it was melanoma, but she wasn't 100% sure how advanced it was. And so they cut it out. I actually even went for another check, a thing which is called a confocal examination, which is a special microscope that they can stick on your neck. And you can see here that I still got a patch here over the area that was on the back of my neck here. I didn't even know that what was there was going to be a problem, you know. And so it's kind of shaken me up a little bit because, you know, these skin doctors they can never be 100% certain without getting a pathology test. So I've had a biopsy, I've had the whole thing cut out, and I'm still waiting on my results. But I think the skin doctor says that they're pretty certain that they caught it in time. But, you know, had I gone next year or some other time, it could have been more advanced, and, you know, I may not be making any more surveying videos, which would be a shame. So I guess my take-home message is, 1, wear a hat like I do. In Australia the sun is extremely strong. Maybe other parts of the world it's probably not as strong, but it is pretty darn strong here in Australia. So wear a hat, sunscreen, long pants, long shirt. Have a hat that's got a neck thing on. And I guess if you think about with your surveying instruments, like especially the total station, you'd probably calibrate that once every 3 months. So how about making an account? Have a look on your hands, back of your hands, under your arms, between your toes, on your legs, around your crutch, everywhere. And look for, just make an account of what you have there, freckles and moles and various things like that, and just see if anything maybe looks or feels a little bit suspicious. 1, go get checked, and 2, take an account of changes, things that change. Because if things aren't caught in time, well then things can get pretty grim. So I'd just like to thank the doctors who looked after me in this situation, but I would also like to thank my wife, because she was the one who told me to go get a check. So maybe, you know, get your partners to have a look over you and get them to maybe just keep an account too of if something looks different or something's changed. But probably the best advice I can get is go get checked once a year, you know, and that way you can save yourself from getting skin cancer, melanoma and the like. So yeah, it's been a bit of a scary ride the last couple of weeks, because there's a bit of uncertainty there, and having to get a few second opinions on things. But I think I'm in the clear now, which is really good, so I can continue making surveying videos. So thanks for, if you're watching this, thank you for watching, and firstly thanks for subscribing to the channel, thanks for liking the videos, thanks for your support. I couldn't really do it without you. And yeah, let's get back to the video. Okay, so we're heading now to the back corner to mark these boundaries. Yeah, so this is the old survey plan here, and there are some survey marks up and down the road here, which I've drawn up in the computer, and I've given everything a point number. And I found a few of these reference marks, which enables me to figure out where this back boundary is. Strange, the original back boundary line used to be here. Now they've added an extra an extra 70 feet out that way to make this funny little dog leg in the back boundary. So I'm working on lot 1. And that's what I'll be marking, the 2 back corners and something in between. Okay, so the first corner is corner number 15, and I've still got another 70 odd metres to go, but I know everyone likes watching how we get there, so I'll give you a bit of a start. Check this place, check out that watercourse and all the bracken ferns and the other tall ferns there. There's an old fence which used to be part of the old boundary line before it was resurveyed, and they added that extra 70 feet, and you can see here there's another old post, and the fence runs up the hill, and an old gate here, and the remains of the fence run down the hill too. However, that's the old boundary line, but not the new one. So the new one is up here, and thankfully I'm not having to bush bash my way like most people have to do. Last time I was here, I came down here with a client just to sort of get a bit of an idea of what I was up against. And this wild dog, not really wild because it belonged to the neighbours, came racing out. I thought it was going to eat me. Thankfully, I'm still here. But thanks to everyone who follows my channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you're watching it for the first time, please show some love. The channel is now offering membership and super likes, so super thanks. So if you feel in the generous mood, I'd be more than happy to receive a Christmas bonus, but in all seriousness, any money that's raised through the channel will go back towards helping me make more videos. And actually, one thing I'd really love to do would be to get into a point whereby the channel can fund my time out of surveying and putting it back, well, still in surveying, but allowing me to take a day off or two to help train people in the field, just to give them that work experience. So stay tuned for more announcements about that. So you can see this star pickets here, which is generally along the line of the boundary. It's just there's no fence. I don't know why, but you're getting close to the corner now. Hopefully dog doesn't come out of the blue and eat me. Okay, 1.3 metres, 1.1 metres. So it's saying 0.2 and 0.2. So there's 0.2 and there's 10 mils, 250, 80, right under this rock here. Okay, so there's a rock here, I've just moved it out of the way. This looks to be the remains of sometimes when people build fences they put lines of rocks down to hold this netting down so it doesn't move, but other times it's been done as a lock spit, line of rocks delineating the property boundary. I'm staking out here, and generally with lock spits, the line of the rocks where they intersect there should be a peg. Well, that would suggest it's somewhere here, somewhere, but I'm staking here. So I'm going to stake it out and see what I can. I don't think there's any remains of any old pegs, so I'll just put a brand new one in. Okay, so we're going further down into the gully, down to that water course that you saw me at earlier. But we'll just go over here to these rocks. It would be uncommon to find a mark here half the way down a hill, but you know, stranger things have happened. I can't see anything there. The star pickets continue, so we'll get some more. We'll get some more star pickets down here. Another one here. So it's initialized. I've left the tilt off, which is fine, and it's 360 mils off the boundary. It's a bit of a strange one as to why that is the case. And not to worry. I'll sort that out. And I've already measured for some survey marks up and down the road which fix the boundary lines. I know where I am. Now, thing is, if there's any error, or I go back to the office or find another mark down here that doesn't sound, that sort of paints a different picture, well then what I'll do is I'll come back and adjust these marks, but I don't really intend on doing that. One thing I was going to say too is the fact that we're well into December now, well into summertime here in Australia, well into snake weather. So thankfully today it's not a very hot day. I was a little bit worried I might come across a few snakes. I've got to walk into that bracken though. So you can see here that the owner has put a little so I remarked this conservation area for the client that had been created. The conservation agreement area had been created early, I think in the 1980s sometime, or 90s. So, and the pegs had disappeared. So the purpose of it was to remark that area again, which I've done. You can see here, area protected, conservation agreement area. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to protect this? This is just beautiful. Look at this. Look at this place. Look at that tree. There's the odd weed in that creek there, which is not fantastic, but just listen to the sounds. What a place to work, eh? So if you're getting this far, thanks again for watching, and please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Global Surveyor here on YouTube and TikTok. I'm a surveyor from Sydney, Australia. Okay, well, the GPS is telling me it's only about 3 or 4 metres, which could be quite possibly in this watercourse is where this mark is going to be. Oh yeah. You can hear it beeping. We're getting very close. So we're initialised, 1.1 metres. Now you'd think that if there was a peg here, it could possibly have been washed out or could be preserved because of the canopy cover here. 500 mils, 200 and 178. It's going to be right in this watercourse. 50 mils and 160. I'm right on it, and it's right in this watercourse. Can you believe it? Don't believe it. Like, wow. GPS down. Now, you would think, I'm just going to take this GPS off from around my neck. Camera. Okay, now you'd think, look at this place. Watercourse here. Watercourse down here. Now, you'll see my stake. It's somewhere down in here. And there's rock. And how would you put a rock in there? A peg in there? Well, I don't believe this, and you probably won't believe this either, but I've got to get down here a bit. I haven't even had a chance to clear it out. But look what I found. Look what I found. This. Look. A stake. Can't believe it. A stake. And I don't know if there's a peg, but I know I'm in the right spot because I found this bloody timber stake. It's really hard. I don't believe it. Well, that's really positive. It means that it's very hard to clear out anything here. And it's all rock. Almost like it's chiseled out here where there could have been a peg. I doubt it. It's all hard rock. There's nothing lying in here, but that's definitely a stake. And you saw it first. Stake in this creek. And okay. Well, I've staked out this peg, the corner, and obviously there's the star picket there. Remains of old peg not found. Reasonably soft, surprisingly. It's going in. It's biting, even though there's a bit of rock there. And that's quite firm. I might give it another whack in a sec. I'll just double check it with the GPS just to make sure. You can hear the GPS making a sound there. It says about 30 mils towards me. I can hit it over a bit there. A lot of weed there. Hit it over, that's good. Not all that easy to hit in film, but that's pretty firm. And there's the stake. And there's the residuals there of. When that beeping stops, it means you're pretty much right on it. Very close, dependent upon satellite coverage as well. I can't believe I found that stake there. Well, I can believe it because I did the hard work. I did all the measuring out the front, found the survey reference marks, and can't comes measuring down the boundary, and at first when I see those star pickets you get a little bit upset by things, but then when you come in and you stake out a corner and it lands right at the base of a stake that's lying on its side, you've got to be pretty close to being in the right spot, and that stake's been there a bloody long time. So I'll tie a bit of ribbon around the base of the peg. I don't have one of those screen things that say a few moments later, but I did grab a star picket that was on a lean, probably coming out, or could have fallen out eventually. So I'll use that as a means to draw attention to this corner, because this is down in the deep, dark jungle. Hit this in. It's hitting some rock, but it is penetrating. Okay, that's good. I'll tie some ribbon on that as well, and that will help the fencer. I think there's a fencer coming in to fence this rear boundary, although I think really, personally, unless the neighbours didn't have any issues with the neighbours, they weren't dumping stuff on your property, well, I don't know why you'd bother fencing it, but I think the owners would like to just ensure that this beautiful part of their block is protected in some degree. So I'll tie a little bit more ribbon here. Okay, excellent. Okay, I've got back onto this line, my corner 14 where I was, and 15 up the top of the hill. So I've got a reference line 14, 15. Goodbye to the watercourse there. And I'll make my way through this thick bracken. I tell you, if this was a stinking hot day, I don't know, I'd be a little bit wary of snakes and other things. Wow, look at this place. What a place to work, eh? Awesome place to work. So I've now got the boundaries marked. I put a bit of pink ribbon up there. Got the peg down in the watercourse and a couple along there, so I can head back to the car and the survey is complete. Whilst I was out here, I just received a text message from the skin doctors who have given me the all clear, which I couldn't really ask for a better way to end a video and a better way to end the day, because it's a bit of a scary thing when you go, you think you're invincible, and we're not. You know, you've got to look after yourself, and I try to. As you can see, I've got hat, long pants, long shirt. I put sunscreen on in the morning and after another 4 hours, and I try and stay out of the sun as much as I can, but it's not just being protected with a hat, it's the UV rays that bounce out from the ground. Check out that tree. And these rocks here. So the thing is, final concluding comments would be, please do yourself a favour. It can be a bit scary, but go get yourself a skin check and just make sure everything is okay, because if they can get it early, then like they did with mine, well, you can continue surveying in this wonderful place. Because if they don't get it early and more invasive surgery is required, where they've got to dig more out and maybe even do lymph node biopsies and all these other things, well, it could be all over Red Rover. Or, you know, I've had people, clients and friends who have had to give up surveying just to stay out of the sun, but I'm not giving up, and I'm going to be doing surveying for a long time. So if you're if you're a subscriber to the channel, well, you'll get to see me for some time to come. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate your support of the channel, and any comments you wish to leave or ask me about melanoma, skin cancer, and do yourself a favour, get yourself a hat that's got a neck flap there. See here, I've still got the remains of the band-aid covering up the cut with the stitches, but I'm in the clear, and I'm signing out. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great Christmas. I'll try and make another video or two before Christmas, but if you don't come back, have a great Christmas, everyone, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.